Welcome back to the channel. In today's dream diary, skin posting became popular, but everything has a price tag, and a hobby that nobody expected to be profitable is selling on Etsy. There's a new social media trend called skin posting. I wish I'd never heard of it. It was my friend Ellen who started it. Skin posting, that is. A blurry picture of what looked like the inside of her wrist appeared in all of our Instagram feeds, simply captioned skin post. I quickly scrolled past it, shaking my head and wondering why Ellen always had to be so weird. Her brand of surreal humor went over the heads of everyone who knew her, but she kept producing more of it. When I logged in a few days later, I saw even more posts, extreme close-ups of people's faces, backs, and who knows where else. Within an hour, my feed, and everyone else's, was flooded with skin. Some people thought it was a body positivity trend. Others believed it was a statement on racial unity. My grandmother, who has always had a dark sense of humor, posted a comment saying, "Oh, is it the anniversary of Jeffrey Dahmer's death or something?" I was getting weirded out by how quickly this strange trend was spreading like wildfire. I decided to call Ellen. We hadn't talked in weeks, due to her boyfriend breaking up with her, and I wanted to see what she thought about her random 3 a.m. post gaining so much traction. "Hey girlfriend," she answered ecstatically. "You'll never guess what happened. 3 of the top 10 influencers on Instagram have started skin posting." She cackled loudly, and I had to pull my phone away from my ear until she stopped. "That's great, Ellen. Who knew this would blow up so much?" I replied, with far less enthusiasm. This was suddenly the last thing I wanted to talk about. I'd seen enough skin to last me a lifetime. Frankly, it freaked me out. Why would people do something so bizarre just for social media clout? I haven't seen a skin post from you yet. I just started a skin posting page on Facebook. Could you help me out with it? I've been the only poster so far and need more contributors. I closed my eyes and pinched the bridge of my nose. She wasn't going to take no for an answer, was she? I'm not really comfortable with that. It's not really my thing. I sighed. "Oh come on, you owe me one, ever since I saved your butt from that creeper at the bar." She let her words hang in the air until I answered. "Fine, whatever, but this is the last favor you can milk from me on that. And I'm using my alt account." "Thanks, sweetheart. I'll send you the link." I braced myself, oddly anxious about taking one simple photo. I decided to use my neck, zooming in until all that was visible was my skin. Maybe I was self-conscious about my body. Maybe this would be good for me. After taking the picture, the text with the link arrived, and I switched accounts to post it. The account had a fake name, one I used for anonymous comments and posts. The first comment came almost immediately from an account with no profile picture. It simply said, $1. It made me uneasy. I checked the account, which had no posts, almost like it had just been created. Then came the next comment, $12, from a different account. Again, no profile picture. I watched, wondering where this was going. $300. The numbers kept rising. I started getting message requests, but I ignored them. It had been an hour, maybe 2, and I just watched, dumbstruck. Then, with a burst of effort, I deleted the post and closed the app. That was enough internet for the day. I sat on the floor next to my couch, my phone lying beside me, feeling completely off balance. What was wrong with these people, even if they were joking? Anonymity does strange things to people. Could they be serious? I had no idea who these people were. I'd always been paranoid, but it made no sense that people would be bidding for my skin on a public social network. It wasn't the dark web or anything. Still, I was relieved I'd used an alt account. My phone buzzed next to me, and with an almost audible sigh of relief, I checked it. My heart sank. "Why did you delete your post?" came a text from an unknown number. Then another text slid in with a ding. "I will pay top dollar for your skin, $20,000. Final offer." My heart started racing, and my feet felt slick on the wooden floor. "I don't know what you're talking about," I began typing. "I think you have the wrong when the next text hit me like a brick to the gut. Sophie, 1990, White Avenue. 31 years old. That right? They then began listing my birthday, social security number, and the name of my childhood dog. Come on, you'll never get a better offer. You can live without your skin, especially with that kind of money. I could almost hear them laughing, thinking how dumb I must be not to take them up on this deal. $50,000 right now. I have the tools ready, they wrote, followed by a picture of my front yard, the new dent on my car clearly visible. A heavy knock on the door nearly gave me a heart attack. I jumped up immediately, adrenaline propelling me through my bedroom door, over my bed, and under it on the far side. Dust bunnies scattered as I invaded their space. The stranger began banging on the door, the noise getting louder and more frantic until it seemed like he was throwing his body against it, trying to break it down. And then, silence. I cowered under my bed, wondering why I had the bright idea to store so much stuff there. Then, the meaning of the silence dawned on me. While the man who wanted my skin had been knocking, I could use the noise to track his location. Now that he had stopped. And then, I heard tapping on the glass of my bedroom window, where I was hiding. I peeked out from under the bed. I looked through the window, and what I saw a man, red in the moonlight. Not ruddy, not flushed with effort or anger. He shined a glistening crimson, muscles exposed, steaming in the cold night air. His teeth were bared, and his eyes were wild, but I don't know if he even had lips to cover his teeth or eyelids to shield his eyes. Then he punched through the window. His arm thrust forward through the glass, his grasping fingers flinging blood onto my face. I somehow managed to leap out from under the bed, duck under his flailing arm, and kept running. The sound of broken glass behind me told me that the man of red was climbing in after me. I wasn't safe here anymore, I needed to get away. I saw the open door to the basement and made a split-second decision to duck inside, closing it as quietly as I could. I had no idea if there were more of them out there, craving just a piece of my skin to cover their naked wrongness. I couldn't risk it. Maybe that man, or thing, would think I had run outside instead of into the basement, too excited for the chase to consider my hiding place. I clutched the cold doorknob tightly, there at the top of the darkened stairway, hardly daring to breathe. No quick thumps indicated a pursuit in the wrong direction. Silence. And in that silence, I dropped my phone down the stairs. The clatter, even though it only fell a few steps, felt loud enough to wake the dead, and I knew he had heard it. I hurriedly grabbed my phone and returned to the door. I pushed my back against it and locked my legs against the ends of the shelves. I silently thanked my past self for installing shelves all along the stairway. The earnest thumping on the door began almost immediately, accompanied by a high-pitched, keening cry. The creature yearned so strongly for what I had taken for granted all my life, he could hardly contain himself, as if every second without it was agony. Perhaps it is. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to brace myself against this door until he breaks it down or help arrives. The police are on their way, but they're still 20 minutes out. This might be the last thing I ever write, every impact jarring me as I frantically document my story. I don't know why I'm writing this, perhaps to be remembered or simply to prepare for what's coming. I guess we'll see what I'll do with my $50,000. I'm a coroner. What I did today with a corpse wasn't right. Let me clarify, I'm not a sick person. A sick person wouldn't know the difference between right and wrong. I knew it was wrong before I did it, but I also knew there would be no consequences. No one would ever find out. I'm not someone with twisted fantasies. I never considered doing what I did until I saw her. Working at the county morgue, you hear a lot of crude jokes and get a lot of questions like, why'd you choose this job? You into corpses? Well, the tamest word is fetishes. It's just what they do, saying offensive, disgusting things. Someone on TV once called it locker room talk. No one really takes it seriously. It's not something people discuss in mixed company. Those who spend their days around corpses think it's all just a joke. They're desensitized. The other guys here have a perverted sense of humor. I shouldn't repeat the things people say, they're mostly impolite. It's not just about sex either. Everyone thinks they're hilarious with their little jokes. I put up with a lot, especially when I bought my sewing machine. I was excited and shared the news, but they just had to ruin it. Make it dirty. What are you going to do with it? Make a lady suit? Dance around like Buffalo Bill to Goodbye Horses with your pee-pee tucked in? That's something a sick person would do. It's something sick people say. It's not funny. Honestly, I liked being around the bodies. People complain all the time, but not once do corpses complain. Ellen didn't complain either. That wasn't her real name, I just started calling her that. She was brought in as Jane Doe. What I did wasn't legal, but when I saw her, I couldn't help myself. She became my muse. They brought her in during a hurricane, she shouldn't have been outside. We see a lot of gruesome injuries here, but it's rare to have someone partially decapitated. Usually, their heads are either fully attached or completely off. Ellen's spinal cord was severed by a stop sign that had been torn from its post by the strong winds. They found her propped against some bushes, her head nodding rhythmically with the storm's gales, as if approving of the pouring rain. When they brought her in, the winds were still howling. Even underground, I could hear them. I sat at my desk, quietly contemplating, until the wind scream was interrupted by a loud thump. The driver recklessly wheeled her through the moored doors. Ellen was someone's daughter, possibly someone's mother. She deserved respect. "You'll like this one, Jane Doe, the idiot," David said as he pushed the gurney in. "Out in this storm, huh, dummy?" He grabbed a fistful of her wet hair, making her head nod in a mockery. The storm's soundtrack outside only added to the macabre scene. Thunder shook the building, and the walls trembled, sending metal pans rattling off shelves. I angrily spat at him to get out. He just laughed at my disgusted expression as he left. I'm not very imposing. From the front, you couldn't tell. She was perfect. A beautiful creature. Not in that way, I'm not sick, remember? I mean, she must have been beautiful in life because she still was in death. Her skin was pink and supple, her lips red, her eyelids lightly closed. She looked like she was sleeping. There was little blood in her wound, the rain must have washed most of it away. You could see right through her neck into her throat like in a science documentary. That's why I took her home with me. I shouldn't be telling you this. I could go to jail. I started calling Jane Doe Ellen in the car. She made an exquisite corpse. A beautiful woman deserved a beautiful name. She was perfect, even with her head lolling with each brake tap as I drove her home. When I got her home, I went to the kitchen and I started noticing my neighbor's kitchen light is often on quite late. At first I thought they're just having a party, so that is why they're up as late as midnight or even hours after. But then I noticed it's more often. In fact, every time I went into the kitchen I would note their kitchen light is on. I would wash some dishes and meal prep for tomorrow, noting with the corner of my eye they seemed to be doing the same. I went back to the bedroom and I laid Ellen in bed. I placed a handmade travel pillow beneath the gash in her neck. I snapped picture after picture as she rested there. I captured her from every angle, carefully avoiding the injury. Once satisfied, I removed the pillow and grabbed another, a couch throw pillow this time. She looked so comfortable, so perfect. It was easy to forget she was dead, that she wasn't just sleeping. Pillows are one of the easiest things to sew. My guest room is full of them now. I made every single one. I need to get rid of them. I'm not sick. I'm an entrepreneur. I made too many pillows. It's hard to sell pillows on Etsy. They don't want you to say how comfortable they are. People want to see it. How are you supposed to do that without a good model? Subscribe.